Welcome, welcome. Proverbs 22 on the 22nd. Let's begin. A good name is preferable to great riches. Favor is better than silver and gold. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahuah is the maker of them all. A clever one foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple go on and are punished. The reward of humility is the fear of Yahuah. Boy, that's a beautiful one. The reward of humility is the fear of Yahuah. Riches and esteem and life. Oh, Yahuah, comma, riches and esteem and life. Nice. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his life keeps far away from them. Train up a child in the way they should go, and even when he is old, he turns not away from it. That's a beautiful promise. Sadly, I tried to raise up my children in the way they should go. I did read the word to them, but I didn't have a lot of understanding, and I was a terrible example. I was not a great example to my children because I didn't know. And I loved my own life more than I loved Yahuah. And if I had it to do all over again, boy, I would have surrendered decades ago so that I could have taught my children how to live in covenant with the King. But he knows what's going on. He knows how it all works, and he will redeem it because he is a redeemer. 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he turns not away from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows, boy, that is so true. And boy, I know what it's like to be in debt and feel trapped and enslaved. And we're working very, very diligently to get out of debt. And it's hard because we're old. And man, if you're young and you're listening to this, don't get into debt. Don't use credit. If you don't have cash, don't buy it. Just some old lady wisdom there. Because when you have debt, you are a slave, and you are forced to have to live a life that maybe you don't want to live because you have to work hard, and instead of doing things that you may be wanting to do, you have to work to pay off debt. So do your best to stay out of debt. He who sows unrighteousness reaps trouble. 22:8. He who sows unrighteousness reaps trouble, and the rod of his wrath perishes. He who has a good eye is blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and strife goes out, and contention and shame cease. He who loves cleanness of heart, whose speech is pleasant, a sovereign is his friend. The eyes of Yahuah shall watch over knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the treacherous. The lazy one says, "There's a lion outside. I'm going to be murdered in the streets." The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit, and one denounced by Yahuah falls in there. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline drives it far from him. That's really challenging in this day and age because people are afraid to discipline their children, and they're afraid, because the government's involved at this point, and children are little human beings and know how to manipulate. And no, we shouldn't beat them, but they should be disciplined, and they should have a healthy fear of consequences. And unfortunately, that doesn't exist much anymore, and children are running rampant, and there's not much consequence to their actions, and there's just lawlessness and craziness now. It's so sad. 22:16. One oppresses the poor to increase his wealth. Another gives to the rich only to come to poverty. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge, for they are pleasant. If you guard them within you, let all of them be ready on your lips. That your trust might be in Yahuah. I caused you to know today, even you, I have not previously written to you of counsels and knowledge, to cause you to know the certainty of the words of truth, to return words of truth to those who send to you. Do not rob the poor because he is poor, and oppress not the afflicted at the gate. For Yahuah pleads their cause, and shall plunder those who plunder them. Make no friendship with one given to wrath, and do not go with a man of rage, lest you learn his ways and find yourself ensnared. Do not be one of those who shakes hands in a pledge, one of those who are guarantors for debts. If you do not have the means to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? Do not move the ancient boundaries which your fathers have set. And do you see a man who is skilled in his work? He does stand before sovereigns. He does not stand before obscure ones. That's Proverbs chapter 22. My prayers this blessed you. Have a fabulous day. If the Father has brought you to this Proverbs challenge, I'm just so very thankful. I hope you're blessed by it, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.